Hey, how's it going, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I back up my data. Now, the reason I'm talking to you about this is because, um, back in the day, I had, what was it, a 65 gig external hard drive. Now, what happened to that hard drive is I had a bunch of data there. I believe I had some, what is it? I think I was when I was going to school. I had some documents, stuff like that, that I had backed up there. But unfortunately, I personally did something with, I believe it was with Windows 7 at the time, that I did something with the permissions and I just basically locked that drive completely. So when I technically had to reimage my workstation and I plugged in that external hard drive, all of that data was technically locked up and I couldn't really retrieve it anymore. Now, keep in mind that this was technically at the very early stages of me going through my IT career. So I really didn't know exactly what to do. I was just freaking out on all of the data that I just basically lost because I just locked it up. So I really don't want to go through that, emotional roller coaster and, basically, just kicking myself and saying, like, why did I lock it up? So that's why I'm making this video. So I can technically kind of give you some pointers. Maybe it's like, you're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I never back up my data. And, you might have it in an external hard drive that, you've had for years. And you're like, hey, nothing's going to happen to it, right? Well, you never know because technically those hard drives are mechanical hard drives and eventually they will fail. So I'm going to go ahead and basically walk you through some steps that I personally do and use to back up the data. Now, the first one I'm going to be showing you is just Blu-ray discs. So these will actually hold more data than just regular Blu-ray discs. So what I do with these is I focus on my pictures and videos of either, you know, family events, birthdays, anniversaries, all of that other stuff that is near and dear to you that, it's like if you lose this, these pictures, all those memories will technically be somewhat gone. I mean, you could, go and take the drive to a recovery place, and of course, you can, it's most likely going to cost you a good penny to get that data back. But why wait for that to happen when you can be proactive and basically use something like this? Now, I do have a video in my YouTube channel, dual, what is it, writing data to dual layers something. I'll basically, put something here so you can check that out. The software that I use on that video, it's actually ImageBurn. So I used to use Roxio. It didn't really work as planned, and ImageBurn actually did wonderful. These aren't that expensive. Well, I shouldn't say they're not that expensive, but they're a little bit more affordable than other solutions out there. So these come out to, what is it, like a 10 count for like maybe $16, $17. I'll leave a link in the description just in case if you want to actually, try these out. Before I forget, you will need a Blu-ray drive for this, okay? So if you have just a regular DVD, it won't work. You need to have a Blu-ray drive, okay? Been warned. The other way that I actually back up my data is basically using, this is an internal hard drive. You can actually use an external one, but this is what I put, that's the bulk load. So like if you have, let's just say, videos, if you have music that you want to back up, of course, and then, all of the other stuff like, pictures and, personal videos, you go right ahead and basically just start backing everything up here. Now, what I usually do is I do one big copy, of course, from my server. So I just basically copy everything to the hard drive, and then I just basically unplug it, put it back in, in a box or wherever, a secure location, wherever you think nobody's gonna find it, or even, well, not even find it, but just, a secure location that it's like, if you have it in a certain location, it's not gonna, accidentally get damaged in any way. That's the second way that I actually back up my data. Now, of course, the third way that I basically back up my data is by having a server, right? So right now I do have, what is it? I think it's a 18 terabyte hard drive running on my server. So all of my data is technically there. So just in case, if, let's just say my server goes down, well, guess what? I have, of course, an internal, external hard drive that it's not connected to anything. It's just basically standing there. And then, of course, I have, any pictures or anything like that, just in case if you need to get those back. Now, if you've already been subscribed to my channel, you'll actually see that I recently did a backup server that I have technically in my mom's house. So how I have it running is, of course, I have my main server here, I have a backup server in my mom's house, and what I did is I created a VPN tunnel going from my house to my mom's house. So it's already interconnected. I can actually, from here, from my house, I can go right ahead and remote into, the server that I have in my mom's house, which would be the backup server, and actually start doing a robocopy from, let's just say, the data. If something changes, on a certain folder, I could go right ahead and basically do a robocopy, and all of that data will go through the VPN tunnel and into the backup server. Now, I know that a lot of you most likely don't have a server, running in your network, or of course, even having a backup server. But, this is another level of, redundancy that I have for my data, just because what if? You never know. What if? So I've experienced, like I said, I've experienced data loss. It is not fun. So that's why I, tried to make this video to, hey, if you haven't really backed up your data, you could go ahead and back it up right now. Let's just say, you have an external hard drive. It's like, why don't you, get another external hard drive, back up your data that way? Or like I was saying, have a different media source for backup, something like this. So, food for thought. Well, anyways, everybody, that is the end of this video. I hope these tips help you out in, preventing any data loss, that might occur in the near future, because it's not if, it's when it's gonna happen, and it will happen. So stay prepared on that front. Well, like always, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you, and we will catch you on the next one.